Good evening, everyone. I'm Jake McKeegan.
And I'm McCluskey.
Welcome to a special edition of the Boonshoft Update. With the end of school approaching, it's time to look back at this year in review. First up, sports. The MS1 flag football team, the Cranial Nerds, had a pretty difficult year, going completely defeated throughout the entire season, not able to put a single game in the win column. When interviewed about the season, some of the players had the following to say. Cranial Nerd 1 was quoted as, "This team really stinks." Cranial Nerds 2, 3, 4, and 6 all had great vision and focus on the field of play, but victory did not come into the field of vision, unfortunately. Cranial Nerve 9 was quoted as, "I could almost taste our first victory last game." Unfortunately, Cranial Nerve 17 was awarded the MVP status. Overall, our sympathetics go out to them, and we hope that they can squeeze out a few impulsive wins over the next year.
In the winter sports, there was an epic battle this year between the second year's RBCs and the first year hydrophiliacs in inner tube water polo. It was a touch-and-go game the entire way, with some of the second-year players like Kristen Manson doing a lot more touching than going. In the end, the second years took the victory in a sudden death shootout. The following day, John Slaughter was overheard recounting his victorious shot. "It was the most important shot of my career," he said. "I knew I had to place that ball perfectly, and I was able to destroy that other team's keeper." John, you're a 200-pound guy taking a ball, throwing it 10 feet away at me, 100 pounds. Good job. Well done.
Indeed. In a related story, campus security was called to the scene of the championship game because of a public disturbance report. Polo mom extraordinaire Avash Kalra took his polo enthusiasm a bit too far when he threatened to, quote, "percuss the margins of the referee's face." Yes, he's going to be that sports dad, who will be surely appear on future news reports here at the Boonshoft.
Moving on to food and culture, one of the biggest news reports of the year was the opening of Dr. Ream's new restaurant, the KNOW Cafe. After years spent in the lab perfecting his menu, he will serve the following items: neuronal fried eggs, Basinian corpuscle onion rings, Meisner's corpuscles cotton candy, nice big thick stack of DRG pancakes with a stick of butter on it, Mega Curiosite blue raspberries, and smooth muscle blue Rice Krispie treats. Don't forget dessert, of course. 2 blue ball ice creams. Available for anyone who didn't do so hot potatoes. I'll take one of those.
In politics, there was quite a bit of controversy this year. As Boonshoft was going through the accreditation process, administrators felt that possible corporate sponsors could be quite helpful. One possibility mentioned was to approach the Gap Corporation for funding of a new self-cleaning refrigerator. However, this suggestion was dropped when first-year president T.J. Hufford threatened to resign unless equal consideration was given to American Eagle.
Much American Eagle ever. In other merchandise news, there's a new piece of merchandise that is going to be available very soon for all who need that inspiration to get you through the top of med school and to really push you through. Anyone needs a little extra inspiration? Medical school. Get your Boonshoft on. As we see a lot of the new pictures going up around Fred White Hall, there actually have been some photos that didn't quite make the cut. So some of these pictures are the following. Really? Let's see if you get to this one. Moving right along.
And I think we'll move right along from there to our guest star appearance. we here have an interview with us with Dr. Gary Dieter. As all of us, of course, know, Dr. Dieter has been with the Ray State School of Medicine for quite a long time. I appreciate you coming to visit us and spend some time, Dr. Dieter. If you wouldn't mind, could you give us just a little brief introduction into your years with us? Excellent. Made some good points there. Would you say that over the years the classes have had their own identity, or they pretty much the same, or would you expect variation? Also good points made. On a personal note, do you have nightmares about the Triangle of Death? Well, we'd like to thank Dr. Dieter. Have been issued for Fred Whitehall. Missing one AED machine. Many think it's not really that necessary to have in a medical building, but some might think it might be poor form if people have heart attacks and die. So anyone see one of the AED machines, please return it. The other Amber Alert issued is for any missing chairs. Apparently, one chair and is not enough for one professor and one student in the interview room. So, at the end of the day, 4 chairs, 1 table, then we can study in the rooms. And some news in the clinical rotation front. On the Surgeon's Lounge, a bit of controversy came to light this year before match day, when the big event almost didn't happen for the 4th years. The administration threatened to take match day away when there were repeated complaints about resource abuse in the Surgeon's Lounge. The 3rd and 4th years had to promise to stop eating all the food